peeps, in today's video we'll use the Monport Mega S 70-watt laser with LightBurn. We're going to set up the camera, Wi-Fi, and autofocus in LightBurn with this laser. For more information about this laser, make sure to check out our previous videos covering the Mega S. Also, if you're interested in purchasing a Monport machine, you can use our discount code Anonymous10 for 10% off at checkout.
In order to set up our Mega S in LightBurn, we're going to actually use a configuration file that Monport has set up for this machine to easily integrate into LightBurn, where you can calibrate your camera as well as your autofocus, rangefinder, all of that stuff. For ease of use, to find it, we are going to go into our Mega Laser Engraver Community Support page, and under Files, we have the latest configuration file uploaded here. So we're going to go ahead and click and download this file. And now we're going to go into LightBurn. And in LightBurn, we're just going to go over to Devices. Then we're going to go to Import. We're going to pull our configuration file open. And it's right here. So it just imported. We're going to hit OK. And now we're plugged into the machine. Yep, we are connected. I can control the machine now automatically. Let's see, home it. The next thing that we're going to want to do is configure the camera and get the camera alignment completed. So if we go to this camera setting here, you can see we're going to be using the UVC camera that it picks up. And you can see this is our camera setup right now. You can see it's really fisheye right now because it is a fisheye lens. And the fisheye correction is actually in the config file once we do our alignment. So we've put in a piece of cardboard here that we're going to use to engrave our alignment. So now that's in there, we're going to go ahead and go over to Laser Tools. And if you don't need to do the Calibrate Camera lens, this is for the fisheye correction. This is all embedded in the config file itself. We just need to go straight to the Calibrate Camera Alignment tab. We're going to click on the overhead fixed position camera. And then from here, we are just going to get our settings for cardboard. Now we'll frame the materials. We can make sure our cardboard is in the right location. Now we will go ahead and start the engraving. Okay, so the laser just finished engraving the 1, 2, 3, 4 grid for our alignment, but you can see it's not updated here in the camera view because, again, it's not a live view. We have to capture the camera. So I can click Next here. If I captured the image, you're not going to see anything because we need to update the image. So we're going to go ahead and actually close this alignment. We're going to go back into our arrows and click Capture Camera. And then we're going to go back into our alignment tool. Now this time we can skip the engraving process and go right to Next. And we can click Capture Image, and you can see our 1, 2, 3, 4 grid is there. So we're good now to do our alignment. We can click Next. And now we're just going to select on the center of each crosshair. Alright, so that all looks good. We're going to go ahead and click Next. And we're done. We're going to click Finish. And now we can do another Capture Camera and go to the camera control page and click Update Overlay. And you can see here is our overlay for our camera settings. So we can test this real quick and just do a little square here. All right, and now we can just check our settings here real quick. And now I'm going to run our autofocus. I'm just going to move the machine to the center real quick. That should be good. And I'll use the macro focus auto to get our setting here. We will have to end up calibrating this. Right now it shows it as 3.5 millimeters, but we know that's 2 millimeter cardboard. But that should be close enough for us to just do this quick test. Cuts and layers, we're good there. All right, let's go ahead and engrave this little square. Now we're going to go back into our macros here and do another camera capture. Go to camera control and we will update overlay. Now let's look at this to see how aligned we are, and you can see we're very close, almost perfect. So we can actually just adjust it here. And that looks really good right there. I'm going to go ahead and click save on this. And now we are completely calibrated now for our camera, which is great. So now what I want to do is connect to the Mega S wirelessly. And it's pretty simple to do. In the console menu, we're going to enter in a G-code command that will give us our IP address and allow the machine to connect to our wireless network. So that command is going to be BBB, Wi-Fi, set, this is where you're going to input your SSID or your Wi-Fi name. We're going to go ahead and enter ours, and then a comma, and then you're going to put your Wi-Fi password. So we're going to go ahead and enter our password. And once you have that entered, go ahead and click enter. And then on the console, you'll see an IP address where it is now connected to your Wi-Fi. So really important to get that IP address here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set up the Mega to connect wirelessly by setting it up as a new device. So we're going to do that by going to devices, and then we're going to go ahead and right click on this Mega S. We're going to click duplicate, and we're going to click next. And this time, instead of connecting with USB, we're going to connect to Ethernet TCP. Click next. And now we're just going to enter in the IP address that we got from the laser when we set it up on our Wi-Fi. Click next. And now I'm just going to rename this. Instead of duplicate, I'm going to name it Mega S Wi-Fi. Click next. Yep, and next. And finish. All right. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Now I'm going to disconnect from the machine. Okay, we are disconnected. And now I'm going to connect to the Mega S Wi-Fi. So you can see here it's waiting for connection. So we do need to make one more setting to get this to work. Go to our device settings, and then we're going to go to basic settings again, and we're going to change the network port from the default, which is 23, and we're going to change that to network port 5000. We're going to go ahead and click OK, and then we're going to disconnect from the machine and then reconnect to Mega S Wi-Fi. And look at that, we are connected to our Mega S over Wi-Fi that easily. I can home it and it works almost instantly. I can draw a box and frame it out. So that is setting up the Mega S to work wirelessly, which is a pretty cool feature. Now obviously you will not be able to use the camera wirelessly with LightBurn. That is a function that you can only do with MDH. I'm going to measure a piece of material, and then we're going to move the laser head over it. making sure our rangefinder light is on our material right there. So what we'll do is we will go to our macros and we'll hit autofocus, and we're going to see what it thinks the thickness of this material is. You can view it by going to our console, and you can see it sees the thickness as 6 millimeters. Now we measured it and it was 5.8. So I'm going to go to the macros. I'm going to hit manage, focus calibration, and edit. And I'm going to change this to the actual thickness, which was 5.8, and click OK. Hit OK, and now I'm going to hit focus calibration. So you can go in the console, you can see it was done, calibration done. Now I'm going to go ahead back to macros and hit autofocus. Back to the console, and you can see now it is measured out at 5.8. So now we're going to use a different piece of material and see how accurate it is. So now I'm using a much thinner piece of wood here. This is coming in at 1.9, 1.8, somewhere around there. We're going to put this under the rangefinder, make sure it's laying flat. Okay. And now let's do another autofocus. And you can see the thickness was properly detected at exactly 1.8. So that's calibrated. Let's test one more piece of material. Now we're going to use this 1/2-inch plywood, which comes in at what, 11.6 millimeters. Let's go back into our macros and autofocus. Yep, and it detected exactly 11.8. So this is perfectly calibrated now. Now in the future, all that we have to do is make sure our rangefinder light is on top of our material, and we will know that our nozzle head will come down to the exact point of focus. All right, so let's just do a quick project to kind of showcase this machine here. I'm gonna go ahead and just import an image with a lot of detail in it, and we'll be able to see how well this thing engraves out, which I think will be pretty good actually. Go ahead and lock perspective here, and then I'll just draw a box that will be a cut line around it, and that'll work just fine. All right, so let's get some settings in. Going to use somewhere between 2 and 3 millimeter material, so let's go ahead to our cut line here and see what we think we could use here. So definitely is going to have to be more than 10% power. Let's do 60% power, speed of 20, see if that'll cut it out. And then for our image, let's do some image settings here. And then for our line interval, that's really dependent upon how thick our laser beam is. This is supposed to be a very thin laser beam. So I think I'm going to actually leave it like that at first and see what kind of results we get. So let's put some material in there, and we'll do a frame to make sure we get that lined up appropriately. Okay, so our engraving is done. Now a few things to notice. I had it way overpowered, so I will definitely turn the power down by quite a bit. This thing is super powerful at 70 watts, and I didn't take that into consideration. So it cut out like butter, no issues there, but unfortunately the engraving is a little bit too dark. In fact, it went kind of through the back on the edges there. The other thing to note is because the spot size of the laser is so thin, you can actually see gaps between each layer line. So I need to adjust that so that our line interval is much smaller. I think I'm going to adjust it to like 0.04 and see if that looks any better. So again, we'll get more dots per square inch, which is good and detailed, but I'm going to turn that power down for sure. So let's run this again with those adjustments.
This laser engraved the image very well once we perfected the settings for the engraving. Also, we were able to set up and utilize this laser in LightBurn, which is nice to have that option. However, if you want to use this laser with the Momport Design Hub, we have a video covering that. If you're interested in purchasing a Momport machine, make sure to use our discount code Anonymous10 for 10% off. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it.